Okay. Okay. Once again, I am Niro Umrelia, and this is the topic I have been given to present, or rather, I have chosen to present here. It is a Tale of a Tub, which is a satire, and it is written by the famous 17th century satirist Jonathan Swift, which is also who is also remembered for his juvenalian kind of satire, which is bitter and harsh on the society and the people, contemporary people, at all, rather. So the subtitle is given by Swift is written for the universal improvement of mankind. So as John Dryden describes that satire, the end of a satire or the objective, ultimate objective is to correct and to reform in the society or in the political spheres of the life as well. So it is improvement of mankind. So we will move further within the slides. So here are some points that we are going to deal with today. The very first one is a small glimpse to the most difficult. So it is considered as the most difficult satires of the satires written by Swift. And volatile here, it means that it deals with various issues that the critics, readers, and what kind of book should be, what should be the length of the book, and the history of Christian churches. That we have three main Christian churches. The first one is Roman Catholic, and then the two bifurcates from that. Another one is Anglican, which is located in England especially, and the third one is Protestant, which is also located in England. And the second point is A Tale of a Tub as an allegorical representation of social and religious dynamics of 17th century England. So in 17th century England, what was there? What kind of society was there? What kind of political, you can say, okay, political matters were on going on there, and what kind of religious belief and faith was were there. So it is described and even satirized in this work by Swift. A use of symbol. Now, symbol is, I have used a phrase here, that the powerful tool for a satirist. That if a satirist want to satirize anything, that he or she doesn't say it directly, because even if he or she does that, then the people will might get offended by that. So he or she uses a symbol, and we will also see the symbols, what kind of symbols are employed by Jonathan Swift. And now another point is, the fourth one is reality, which is the main point of my presentation is reality and the limits of human mind in A Tale of a Tub. So how we are limited, how our minds is limited, how our senses is limited, which is it is also described in this satire. And then we will move ahead towards summing up and the resources. So let us first go to the glimpse to the most difficult and volatile satire. Okay. So it is quite, I know, bulky, which is full of sentences. So we will have to just skim over on that. We will just consider some highlighted point. It is a prose satire. This is a prose satire, originally written between 1694 to 1907 and published anonymously. So it was published anonymously, and it is the first work. It is considered as the first work by Jonathan Swift, and in 704, and by 17th century English satirist Jonathan Swift. Or it is divided into 11 part prose. So there are the whole book or a work. It is divided into 11 parts at all, and it is the most impactful parody of religion. So it deals with religion issues, politics, the what kind of political spheres were going on at the time, and government and society of then England, not now, then England. Okay. The main section of the satire tale revolves around the main allegory. Allegory, I hope that everybody is familiar with. Yeah, allegory about Christian history and ironic digression. Digression. First, we have two things that here, a tale and digression. So these are two main things. They're going on parallelly with each other. First, it comes to a tale. Four tales are there. First, second, third, and fourth. So first, it comes tale, and then it moves or distracts to a digression. So we will have total 8 points. So we will discuss it point by point. The first, it begins with tale. So what is there in the tale? A man speaks to his three sons, Peter, Martin, and Jack, before the moment of death. So there is a man, a dying man, speaking to his three sons. And now the narrator or the writer moves towards digression. The what happens in the first digression, let us see. The narrator digresses and discusses about the difference between critics and true critics, or who have heart for criticism. So he here differentiates that who is critic or who should be critic. That everybody does not have that kind of skill to become a critic. That everybody cannot critique anything. Then tell they are supposed to cultivate that particular skill within them. Then only then and then they will become a profession critic. Tale. Once again, the narrator comes to the tale. Peter thinks of himself. Now, Peter is who? It is allegorical representation of Roman Catholic Church, the oldest or the seminal church from which the two, Anglican and Protestant, are bifurcated. So Peter is the eldest. So we know why he is eldest, because the Anglican Roman Catholic was very much ancient kind of church. So Peter thinks of himself as the authoritative personality for being the eldest of the three brothers. He makes changes in courts. Yes, we will see what is the court, what is the will, who is the father now, who are these three brothers. We will see in symbolism. So it is kind of a story. Tale describes the story of three brothers, and digression deals with various topics like, so let us scream over. Don't we are not going line by line. So first digression discuss about who is critic and who should be a critic rather, and the second digression tells about thoughts, that what kind of thoughts were there in ancient times and now what kind of thoughts are there. And the third one is narrator talks about wit, method to madness. Now method to madness is a kind of very much known phrase to us as student of English language and literature, that in Hamlet or Macbeth, I think, yeah, Hamlet, you will find that method to madness. That it means that a person is doing something that we are not familiar with. We will think that this person is mad. He or she has gone mad, but there is something that there is some purpose for which the person is doing these kind of things. Okay, and tale. We have seen that it is the representation of English churches or Roman Catholic, Protestant, and Anglican churches. And once again, the last digression, it is also a concluding topic. This is the concluding chapter of the prose wherein narrator discusses the ideal length of any book. As I told you before, that what should be the length of a book, and if this much book is written in, then it will consider it a very good book, and believes that his books should stand the test of time, and along with his shows gratitude towards the fellow authors. He doesn't only criticize that my fellow authors or critics are like this, but he also is grateful to them. Okay. See, now our next point is a tale of a tug as an allegorical representation of social and religious dynamics. So what kind of society was there in 17th century England? So we will see the first English Civil War. It was fought between 1642 and 1646. So kind of 6 years it was there. The English Civil War, the very first English Civil War was there. So if you want to go deep, then I have attached a hyperlink here. Then if you tap on that, you will get there. And the second one was the Act of Settlement of England. So what was that? We all are familiar with that. Charles I was ruling before the Restoration happens. Okay, Charles first was ruling that he was a Roman Catholic. But now Oliver Cromwell, the Lord Protector, came in and he told that, okay, we do not want a monarchy, we want democracy. Now the fight happened between, we have the Whigs and Tory parties, haven't we? Yeah. So the fight happened and they passed after winning that battle against the King Charles I, they passed a bill, the Act of Settlement of England. So what is this? So in this act, it is clearly described that no Roman Catholic ruler will be there to rule us. Only Protestant will be given the seat to rule or authority to rule over us. So it was a kind of like that. The Jill was describing that CAA Act, there is no place for Muslims to have citizenship in India. So it was kind of that act. So if you want to go deeper, then you can touch this link and go there. So let us move ahead to the further slide. Now, what happened with this? Is it blurred there? That penultimate one? Okay. There is a GIF of tub. Okay, no problem. So here we have some symbols. So what kind of symbols are employed by Jonathan Swift in this work? So Jesus Christ or God, the Father, is the dying Father. So the Father we see in the first part of the tale, he was Jesus Christ, or he is supposed to be Jesus Christ, according to some critics. And the Holy Bible is the will of the dying Father. So the dying Father gives his three sons a will that you should protect this, you should follow this even, and whatever is written prescribed there, you are supposed to follow that word by word. So it is will, it is Bible. Fine. And three bifurcated churches, namely Roman Catholic, first one very much the eldest, which is the represented by, see here you can see the logo. It is the logo of Roman Catholic Church, and it is the eldest church by uh, of eldest church in history of Christianity. And the second one is Anglican, which is the mixture of the Protestant or the Cavaliers and the Roman Catholic. It is here, and he is represented by Martin. Martin is Anglican Church. Peter is Roman Catholic. Peter, Martin, and Jack. Roman Catholic, Anglican, and Protestant. Okay. So and here is the tub, but it is kind of budding around. It's okay. Digression or distraction. So why we are aware of that? Then when sailors were on the sea, or they were boarded on the ship, then they were always having the fear that the whale might come and turn their ship around, and they deep down in the sea, all kinds. So they kind of used a kind of distraction force. So they plugged up a bathtub and they throw into the water. Then the whale gets distracted and spares the ship. That the whale thinks that, oh, it is something more interesting than the ship. So the way they were saved was that. So why digression or distraction? What is the role of it here? That it is digression or distraction that Jonathan Swift tells that it is very good, and it is rather than sticking on the same topic. So if you stick on the same topic, it will bore you. So you should need some kind of digression or distraction in your life as well. So and here it is the whale, because whale comes to turn down the ship into the sea. Now, what is the role of the whale, or what is the allegorical representation of the whale is in the work? Is satirists or literary writers or attackers to the social, political, and follies. So as it is a satire, so its aim is to reform in society. So this whale is satirist like Jonathan Swift, and writers as well. So it was like a allegorical representation of all the things, and it is also compared with the Leviathan. We have that work Leviathan because it is very much bulky. 11 chapter, 4 tales, 4 digression, all the things. There are many things though. So let us move ahead. I hope the idea is very much clear in your mind. Yeah. Okay. See, it is the very much focused point by me. Reality and the limits of human mind in a tale of a tub. So now, what do we mean by reality? Reality means something that is there in front of us. Okay, and the limits of our mind, that we can only perceive what we are meant to be perceived. Okay, so A Tale of a Tub is a satiric and sardonic narration of the type of mind that denies everything outside the mind. So someday one can claim that, okay, I do not know this, I cannot see air, so air doesn't exist. It is not so. We will remember that yesterday, Dunn was telling the same, that the souls are there. He was believer in existence of soul. Okay, so it is a kind of thing that, but here I would like to tell a small story of, it is the very much true story of Greek philosopher Heraclitus. Once Heraclitus was doing a kind of method to madness. He was having a spoon, and he was standing in the shore of sea. He was doing that. He would scoop a spoon with water and throw it to the sand. Now another man came and, hey, why are you making this, or why are you doing this? It is quite a madness. Then what are you doing? What is your purpose? He asked them. Then Heraclitus replied that, okay, I am just trying to run out the sea. Then that man said, oh, you are mad. You have completely gone mad. There is nothing with this only this spoon you are going to soak up this whole sea. Then, my friend, what I am telling, that within only your mind, you cannot grasp everything which is there in the nature. So it was the kind of idea that our mind is something limited in a way. Okay. And here Swift goes parallel in holding that the external world is real. It is very much real to us. And that our senses give a true report of it, and the truth can be discovered by the individual through his or her senses. Now here we have an 17th century contemporary philosopher John Locke. He also says this, that in his essay, an essay concerning human understanding, it was there. I think we were discussing when neoclassical, it was there. Reference was there. Yeah. Perception. is the first operation of all our intellectual faculties and the inlet of all knowledge in our minds. So whatever is there in our mind, it is just because of our senses. Okay, so he believes that. And now here I would like to quote here that it is taken from the work, that what kind of limitation is shown there. That he would shut, he means who? Jack. Jack is the youngest brother. Jack is the youngest of brothers. He would shut his eyes. Eyes means his mind. Why? It is deliberately, uh, you can say, okay. As he walked along the streets, streets means the world. And if he happened to bounce his head, head means his voice, against a post. Post means the power, authority. Okay. Or fall into the kennel. Kennel means you can say a kind of, we have that word ruin. Ruin means we have that word barbadi, that completely destruction. If you raise your voice that something is happening bad in front of your eyes and it is done by the authority, then you cannot raise your head. So it is allegorically represented here. Okay, so it was about reality and the limits of human mind. In it is we can compare this with even our world, even in India right now. India, that some girls are raped and the people are passing by, nobody helps her because they think that we have to be engage ourselves in police matters and all the things, they will pass by. So all kinds of things are going on right now in India. Okay, summing up. Oh, still it is not there. Okay, it is the summarize. And here I would like to, it was the image of the great Indian novel written by Shashi Tharoor. It was also on satire, but it was a kind of Horatian satire, very mild, not like this Juvenalian satire by Jonathan Swift. Okay, so Jonathan Swift is also remembered for his two satires. Let me here refer to it. A modest proposal in which he advises Irish people to engage in cannibalism. Cannibalism means to eat a human being. Yeah. Okay. Another apt example of this satire on the style of the philosopher's lucubration. At that time, philosophers were kind of that. Even if they find even a small stone, they will start thinking on that. What is the stone? So they were over kind of thing. So it is depicted in meditation upon a broomstick. So broomstick, we know that it is quite a common thing that we all have in our homes. Okay, so they even think upon that broomstick, that what is that. So it is not bad thing, I think. Okay, so it is the great Indian novel reference I have quoted here or quipped here. Unlike rude and bitter satire of Sweet, it's a political and mild satire. So it was all about my presentation, and here are my resources. Thank you so much. Yeah. Wait.
Okay, yes, questions to him.
Yeah. Okay. Well represents that he well should be a satirist or a writer that attacks the sheep. Sheep here is a society or political sphere or religion. He or she attacks anyone who is a satirist or a writer that this shouldn't be there. So they will attack. So well means a writer or satirist who wants to amend the society. Okay. Now, any other question from you? Are you satisfied? Thank you. Yeah. Now, who is going to ask me next? You asked me that why the tail.
Who asked? You, have you unmuted? Yes. Unmute and then ask. Yeah.
Why is a tail of why is a tail of dog as a satire?
So your question is why the tale of Tom it is a satire or it falls under the category of satire. Okay, am I right? Fine. So it is a satire just because it has some kind of satiristic element in that. It has irony in that. That three brothers, and it is the history. And according to this, Jonathan Swift, those three brothers No, no, according to not Jonathan Swift, he never told its audience that I am going to represent them particularly, because he just allegorized them. That critics or reader derived the meaning that these are that allegorical. These all are supposed to be the allegorical representation of that kind of churches, that kind of critics around them. So that is why it is satire, and he goes on bitter. He goes on talking about in bitter words that you should not raise your voice against the authority. If you do, then you will fall in a kennel or in a ruin or in a pit, you can say. So I think, according to me, as far as I'm concerned with that, that is why it is called a satire. Are you satisfied? Thank you so much. Any other question? Okay. Thank you.